I'm gonna have all the receipts as I'm reading along. They're gonna be up on the screen too. You'll be able to understand the point where I'm coming from and why I would even be sitting here and making like the story time.
And we stand like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Prada. Basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada.
Hello girls and gays, it is LBtwink and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a story time, and today's story time is going to be the time that I was in Jubilee and my experience with it. This is gonna be my second time filming this video because the first time I filmed it, I was quite frankly heated, like as fuck. I would like to be more composed and more so convey the message I was getting across in a lot less aggressive tendency. You know what I mean? I don't know if this is something I could potentially get sued for. I just hope that me speaking on my experience isn't going to end up getting me sued. Not saying this video like might even get views or like honestly like, who knows where the fuck this video is gonna go. I feel like the story will speak a lot for itself. Before we really get into this video, if you guys aren't already, make sure you go ahead and click that red subscribe button down below, and also make sure you give this a thumbs up. I'm in like this cute ass hotel and I'm living out my fantasy right now of being a fucking YouTuber sitting down filming a story time in a hotel room. Quite frankly, this is all I've ever wanted, baby. If you're clicking on this video and you have no idea who Jubilee is, I found them on YouTube, but they make a whole bunch of videos. I would kind of group them within like a BuzzFeed style channel. I remember one day I was actually watching a cut video. I saw in the description of the cut video that they want to be in like one of our videos, do our castings. I went to look at castings for cut. The only way you'd be able to do it is if you were based in Seattle. I just like got in my head, what company like this do I know of does this but in LA? Why not? I'm a fucking YouTuber. I would love to be on a YouTube channel. They all have like millions of fucking subscribers. My next thought was go look at Jubilee. Jubilee, their whole thing that they do, they make a lot of videos about, I want to say like kind of controversial topics. Their channel is kind of all over the place. I looked at their description and they had like a little link, basically said, do you want to be in a Jubilee video? Like click here. So I clicked there. They had like a mailing list. You could sign up for that. They would send the castings too. Every month they would send you a new one. So I just signed up for it because they said that only if you were in the Los Angeles area, and I'm from Long Beach, not too far from downtown LA, which is where I figure like they were doing everything anyways. I signed up for the mailing list, and then the next day I ended up getting an email, which was their monthly like newsletter moment. Basically had a list of the castings. I saw on their casting list that they had a spot where it was for people who were HIV positive. That is something that really fits me. Like I got this one in the bag. There's no way if I sign up for this I cannot do it. If you guys already don't realize it and you just haven't seen my face before, I am someone who's living with HIV, and that's kind of how I got my start on YouTube, was talking about that. One of their most popular series and kind of what I knew them about was Spectrum. What Spectrum basically is, they take people from a certain group of stigmas and they put them all in a room. Usually it's around like 6 people, at least that was my experience when I went. They put these lines on the floor. There's about, I think 7 in total, 1 in the middle where everyone stands and 3 on each side. To one side it will be like completely agree, agree, slightly agree, and then on the other side it's disagree, so it'll be like completely disagree, disagree, slightly disagree. They'll ask you a question for this series. Everyone has their own answer. Basically will go to where they are on a line. For my certain episode that I was in, it was, do all people with HIV think the same? That's a brief explanation of the video series I feel like that they themselves are most popular for. They of course have like so many other more. That was a big one, and that's kind of how I found them. Now we're gonna go ahead and pull up the receipts and get a little deeper into the situation. Buckle up, bitches. When I submitted my application, I just had to fill out like a couple questions about myself. They gave me the option to submit like a video, and so being the YouTuber ass bitch I am, there's no way I couldn't like not do this. I did everything. I submitted my application. Hi Jubilee, I'm filming this on my MacBook, so sorry for the quality. I recently found your guys' channel on YouTube. I was stumbling upon the descriptions in your videos and saw that you guys had a casting. I signed up to be on that casting list, which is what led me here. I saw that you guys are doing a Spectrum show on people who are HIV positive. I found out when I was 17 years old at a Pride festival. I am now 19 years old, almost 20 years old, and I feel like I'm in a very younger age range for this type of thing. It's not something super common, and it's been something that I definitely advocate for. I feel like I've come a pretty long way in my journey with HIV, and I feel like it's just, this would be a really good topic for me to touch on, and it's always been something I've been really open about. I made a video first telling everyone I had HIV, and it ended up getting around 40,000 views on it. After that, I made a couple more videos about HIV, but I've always wanted to touch a bigger audience, and I feel like your guys' video would be the perfect way. I think that I would be perfect for this show, so hopefully I hear from you guys. I'm gonna be blacking out like all the names on it because I'd rather keep this more as like a story time on my experience on there and where things kind of went wrong rather than a video just bashing them. Like I said, the first time I did film this, I was pretty upset, rekindling those memories of like anger that I had when the video finally went live. Tuesday, July 23rd, 2019, I got an email back. Here's what it says. Good afternoon, my name is and I'm one of the Jubilee media producers overseeing the next season of Spectrum. Thank you for your interest in the series. Just a reminder, we can only bring participants onto the show who are able to be in Los Angeles for the film shoot. Unfortunately, we are unable to cover travel costs. Participants will only be needed for a couple hours and the shoot will fall between August 9th and 12th. Exact date and time in that window is still being finalized. So if you're under 18 years old, you will need a legal guardian to sign a form allowing you to participate. If all things work, I'd love to hop on a call with you to discuss some follow-up questions I have and to hear more about your background, experiences, and opinions. Basically, it was just saying schedule a time for us to do a phone interview. So I ended up hopping on a phone call where they were just asking me a couple questions. I believe they were mostly sample questions of stuff they would kind of ask me if I went on to the show. I hadn't heard back from them in like a little bit, and I was like kind of wondering, like, did they really like not like get anyone for it? Thursday, August 8th, 2019, they said, "Hi Thomas, it was great to chat with you a few weeks ago. We would love to cast you for our episode of Spectrum featuring people who are HIV positive. We are looking at 2 different days for filming and wondering which you are more available for. Would August 27th or 28th work better from you? Hope to hear soon from you." I was so excited because, you know, in the first email, it just said that they wouldn't pay for travel costs. My whole thing with it is that they didn't really say we were gonna get paid, and quite frankly, I never figured that, like, we were gonna get paid for this. I thought going into this, and I feel like it's not very wrong of me as someone who was even smaller. I had maybe just hit 10K on YouTube, and look at us a year later, we're getting close to 17K. By the time this video is posted, a bitch I know will have hit 17K because we're manifesting that. Anyways, I responded and I said, "Hi. So happy to hear back from you guys. That makes me so excited. I can make either of those dates work for me. As long as I know in advance so I can plan accordingly, there shouldn't be a problem." Sent from my iPhone. Humiliating. August 12th, she finally responded to me and she said, "Hi Thomas, just wanted to keep you in the loop. We're looking at August 27th for our shoot date, so make sure you keep it open." I'm over here and I'm keeping August 27th open. I'm gonna be on Jubilee this day. Awesome. So I just said, "Sounds good, will do," the next day because I, quite frankly, just never saw the email. This is our first initial communication. Quite frankly, I feel like there was nothing super wrong. 2 days before the actual shoot happened, Monday, August 26th, 2019, I got an email, and every person who I was like emailing from this point, it had been a different person from Jubilee every single time. But it looks like the other people were CC'd on the email, which basically means they're getting sent the same email that like I'm getting sent. "Good morning, my name is, I'm a producer at Jubilee. We are very excited to have you join the cast tomorrow. Here are just a few reminders for the shoot. Call time, 8:30 a.m. Location," that's going to be blacked out, obviously. "Once you enter the gate with the first door on the right," and then for parking, they didn't give us parking, which I mean, it wasn't the end of the world. "The location can be a little chilly in the morning, then start to warm up around noon. Please dress accordingly, bring layers. We want to make sure everyone is comfortable. There's no dress code, but don't wear logos pretty much. And if we're running late," they gave us a phone number to call and stuff like that. Everything was good. Everything was solid up until this point. I was very, very excited. You might be thinking, "Thomas, this story is fucking boring," but just wait on it because there's tea that left me feeling not the most impressed with Jubilee. The day of the shoot, I went there, I arrived, low-key, I was like late. When I arrived to the actual shoot, there was just maybe like a couple other people. Everyone who was in that shoot, I feel like I vibed with really well because, you know, I haven't really been to like support groups for people who are HIV positive or really like had like a community of people like that. I was finally able to hit a point where I could actually meet people who were in the same community I was in, like speak on our differences and just see everyone's differences. But when it came time to finally shoot, before we actually went on, we had to all sign talent releases, which basically means that they're able to use our image and use the footage they take of us and pretty much do whatever they want with it. On this talent release, it literally, like, I signed for it. I'm not gonna put the image of that up because I feel like that would almost be confidential because it was pretty unclear that me even coming on and speaking about this, bringing any sort of negative light to it, because I did have a negative experience, if I'm gonna be quite honest. I don't know if I could get sued for that. Hopefully I can't. Hopefully they're better than that, suing someone who did free work for them. Jubilee, if you're watching this, please don't sue me. I don't got much you could take anyways. When we started doing the actual shoot, it was honestly like one of the most amazing experiences, and I really did just like genuinely love the whole experience of doing it. If you guys want to watch it, you could just search Jubilee HIV. I'm in the thumbnail. It was a really good video, great dialogue. We filmed for about 2 to 3 hours, and then after I had some conversations with the people who were there. In all, the whole experience itself was amazing, and at this point, everything had gone so great, and right when the shoot ended, I went up to the producer who was basically like running the show. I said, hey, would you be able to use my name as LBtwink because I do not want the name on there as Thomas. I have my own YouTube channel. I kind of go by LBtwink, like that's like my thing. You know how we all have those things where like that's my thing? When I asked her, she said, yes, of course we could do that. Send me an email reminder whenever you're ready to, and I'll make sure that it happens for you. At this point, great. This is August 27th, 2019, 2:35 p.m. because if you remember me mentioning, we did the shoot earlier at like 8:30, literally got home, all the excitement. The first thing I want to do, because I just really wanted to like make sure that this happened, I wanted to make sure and tell them that before I forgot and before they forgot. It was fresh in her mind, and I was like, I need to remind her. 2:35 p.m. Hi. I would like to thank you guys again for having me. It was such a blast, and I appreciate you guys giving our community a platform to talk on. I'm emailing you because you told me to remind you about using my name as quote-unquote LBtwink instead of quote-unquote Thomas. I would appreciate that so much. Thank you again. Can't wait to see the video. -LBtwink, in parentheses, Thomas, because obviously when I'm signing these contracts and stuff, and when I'm emailing, and it says Thomas on it, and it doesn't say LBtwink because Thomas is like my name. Online, I like to go by LBtwink because, you know, when people know your name, weird stuff can happen. People are weirdos online. She replied, she said, hi LBtwink, look, I'm doing it. Thank you again for contributing to the dialogue today. I will make sure we could do that for you. I'll be in touch and let you know when the episode is coming out. I was like, okay, awesome. I love to see it. So it's been 3 months since we filmed, and I literally would check their channel on the daily to see if this video had come out. I was under the impression that she can make sure that she would put my name as LBtwink. Okay, here's where things kind of get iffy, because I should be grateful that I even had a chance to go and speak on such a topic that I'm very passionate about across such a big platform. Not saying I have as many subscribers as them. A lot of what I want to do with my life consists of YouTube. It's just always been a dream of mine to be like a whole YouTuber. So when I originally wanted to get casted, especially touching on such a traumatic and such a deep topic for me, I could go do this for this company and help break the stigma, but along with that, I will also be able to get the promotion that I deserve for doing a video like that. That's something that ultimately in the long run could help me grow so much and could help me just prosper. Even getting my name out there just as much as I can, like not Thomas, because there's so many Thomases, but there's only one LBtwink, and that is I. The reason why I was upset with my experience was because I told them that I wanted to be called by LBtwink, and they didn't do that. November 5th, 2019, 3 months after we shot. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you've been well since our Jubilee media shoot. I just wanted to give you a heads up that the Spectrum episode you participated in will be released on our channel this Wednesday, November 6th. Before the video's release, I want to thank you so much for contributing to the dialogue. We're all about inspiring radical empathy through thoughtful conversations. Our audience can get quite passionate about the topics and are quick to share their opinions. Sometimes these videos trigger people and lead them to message cast members' personal accounts. Although we can't stop people from making these choices, we can help you prepare so they are less likely to contact you. As a new policy, we will not post cast social media accounts until after you've had the opportunity to see the video once it has gone live. We want you to see what the general response is from the viewers before we put out links to your personal accounts. If after watching the content and seeing the responses, you would still like your social media handle put in the video description, then we will put it up. Some other suggestions to consider at least the first week the video goes live: privatizing your social media accounts, Instagram, Facebook, etc. Taking down personal information on your Instagram bios, places you work. Even if an account is private, the information at the bio at the top can be viewed by the public. Lastly, I want to remind everyone to be mindful in the comment section. Apparently, people control the comments. Understandable. Thank you so much again for participating in this series. We had a wonderful time working with you and truly appreciate your openness, bravery, and time. Wishing you all the best. Jubilee. This email is literally titled, your episode of Spectrum is coming out tomorrow, 11/6. We love to see it. I'm still under the impression that when this video goes up, I'm going to at least have my name in it as LBtwink. When they were touching on not putting anyone's social media links like in the bio, that one was very, very understandable and something that like honestly I quite literally get. They do have a really big platform. I believe right now they have like 5 million subscribers. When you are kind of exposing, especially on such a touchy topic like HIV, I know even on HIV videos that I post, people can be hella out of pocket on those. I'm still under the impression that they said they would make sure they would put my name as LBtwink. As long as I had that, like, and that was just like, because that's like my thing, that really wasn't a problem to me. Like when the video goes live, I get it. 11 a.m. The day the video is going up, I get an email. Hi Thomas, unfortunately I spoke with the team and we can't use LBtwink for your name on Spectrum. Sorry about that. We can only use real names and not any sort of username. My apologies, thought we'd be able to. You know, I was salty. Oh, Thomas. The next email that I responded with was, crazy how 2 months ago when I asked, you had no problem with it. Now that the video is out, there's a issue. As a company, I thought you guys actually cared about the people in your videos. I came on talking about a sensitive topic. At the very least, you guys use the name I like to go by. Thanks for the amazing experience, guys. So happy to open up and be vulnerable and used for views. I should also mention that the video is monetized, meaning they're making money off of it. Part of the only reason that I felt like I wanted to do this video so much and why I was so passionate and excited to do it. Yeah, of course, breaking stigma is cool. Why would I put myself and leave myself vulnerable to like such a big audience when I can like do the bare minimum of that on my channel? You might just be like, okay, bitch, you sound clout hungry. Already being on the internet and already talking and having a small platform like I do, even that can be scary. I wanted to do this to just kind of help myself in a way grow, and just like I still like quite frankly am dealing with issues along just like having HIV, and I feel like I go through that like on a day-to-day basis. When I talk about it on my channel, it's not really me sitting here being like, oh yeah, like I'm sad about it, but like the gag is I do get sad about it. It affects my life like a lot more than just taking a pill a day. How it usually goes, social stigma and all that really plays a big ass factor into this. I was promised up until the day the video came out that like that would happen. Yeah. After my ass snapped back, she emailed me back, and this was all within the same day, and she said, that was my fault. I thought when we first talked about it several months ago that it would be an option. I was still new to the company and hadn't ever directed Spectrum before and wasn't sure what the rules were in place for that and figured it wouldn't be an issue, but once I brought it up to the team after the first edit of the episode, they said it would have to be an actual name and can't be something like a username. I sent you an email before it was released yesterday to let you know ahead of time. I could check with them one more time to see if there's something that can be changed and re-uploaded. I hope this isn't something that's now changed your perception of us or the experience. It's genuinely just something I thought would be an option, but I was mistaken. We really appreciate you for being a part of the video. That was a genuine apology, and that's why I feel like I am upset at it. And I mean, in my head, I'm kind of putting the blame on the person who was emailing me for this, but also at the same time, she did say she was new, but also at the same time, they're a huge company, and she did also bring up that it was after the first edit, which means they've known it for quite some time. I'm sure it takes them a bit of time to edit those videos. I mean, I know they have people who know how to edit, but in the grand scheme of things, they should have told me earlier rather than before it was released. It was literally the day it was released. I said in response, it's alright, there's no need to re-upload the entire video. If you guys could just link my socials, that would be great. Just feel like I deserve some recognition for something so big like this. I feel like most of the cast may feel the same way as well, which I honestly, that was a big guess for me. I'm not saying like everyone wants their socials linked. When they did post the video, and mind you, with everything they had mentioned before, when it came to linking socials, they said they weren't going to do it till everyone had seen the video. When the video was uploaded, there was someone who was like already linked in the description. That also really threw me off because they said they wouldn't be linking anyone till after they've seen the video, so maybe he got early access to it, and I feel like we all should have gotten early access to it. That was kind of fishy. Literally, the video went live, I watched the video, and I emailed them within the middle of the video being like, hey, put my socials in. It took them a good like 48 hours to finally get my social linked in it. After that, she said that she submitted the request and that they should be put in that morning. I like definitely emailed them multiple times that day because my socials weren't linked, like I said, for like 2 days. Pretty much that's where the negative experience part I had with them. I do not know what they could do to make it right at this point. If someone asks you to call them a certain name, that should always be respected. I stand by that. My name may be Thomas, but I asked to go by LBtwink. It could have gotten me a lot more credit than what I got from that video, which was literally close to none, and the video has like 1.7 million views right now. The way that if they just did what they told me they were gonna do, it's a big reach to just say this, but that really could have changed my life and made things not necessarily easier for me. I would have had a lot more to work with, and I was very taken aback how I mentioned earlier how they had his socials linked right in, but it took them 48 hours to even get mine and everyone else's in the description. I don't know if they had favorites for it. To me, it just seems like I did free work for them, and it was cool free work. I'm not bashing the whole experience of like me going and doing it, and not saying that that sucked in itself, but what sucked was that I thought I was going to be able to grow from this and I was going to be able to spread my message while getting the credit that I feel like I deserved, which was literally just the name I asked to go by. The reason I didn't tell them to take the video down and change it was because there are other people in the video, and it's just like, at that point, why would I have them do that when it would affect more people than me? Funny enough, I do have a little sidebar moment here about someone who I was on the show with. So when I first initially had my idea of making this video, I sat down and I filmed it. I got very angry about it. I went on my close friends list on Instagram and I posted something along the lines of, wow, I just filmed a story time about the time I was in Jubilee and I realized like how upset I am about it. And so someone who was in it reached out to me. Oh, like what happened? Like, can you explain? So I just sent them a brief voice memo. Not really brief, I sent them like a whole bunch of voice memos. Everything that kind of like went down and why I was upset. I feel like when I was talking to them, they almost were like belittling me for being upset about it. I just want to say, if you're gonna do something for a big company and they aren't gonna pay you, at least make sure you get the credit you deserve. It was never signed in the contract or anything that they had to use my name as LBtwink. This was definitely a learning experience for me as someone who does social media and earns money from social media. It could have been an opportunity to just grow and prosper, and like, it's already hard enough to be a gay bitch on YouTube who is not getting put on the algorithm. Like, quite frankly, it just hasn't been happening for me the past, like, it really died within the past year. The person who I was talking to made it very apparent that I just wanted a shout out, but it really is deeper than that, talking about my traumas and just wanting the credit I deserve, and even just like them lagging and just, I don't know. I think Jubilee, you could have done way better with communication. You could have done way better with promoting and giving people the credit they deserve, because if you're not going to pay them and you're going to use their experiences and their knowledge to, of course, help break stigma, that's a great thing. But for profit, because that's the only reason they're doing it. Like, I'm sure there's people on their team who like care about it, but at the end of the day, they're a company, and the only reason they do what they do is because they earn money off of it. If we're gonna use people for their experiences and their ideals, and we aren't gonna pay them, but we're gonna earn a lot of money off of it, and I mean, you don't make a shit ton from ad revenue. I know you made something, and I know you made more than what I make in ad revenue. Jubilee, if you see this, if you can make this situation right somehow, I don't know, either cut me a check or like give me the credit I deserve. That would be awesome. If not, don't sue me for this. So pretty much that was my experience with Jubilee, and with that being said, please guys, don't send them any hate or like go comment on the video that I'm in with them or just anything. We don't want negative stuff thrown at them. I just kind of want to talk about my experience. Maybe someone else had a similar one and doesn't really have some kind of platform to speak out on it. Or quite frankly, I would not do any other work with them unless they were willing to pay me or give me the credit I deserve. I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. There's your daily dose of tea. Thank you so much for watching. Again, give this video a thumbs up so we could get Jubilee to see it, make the situation right, but also make sure you hit that red subscribe button down below, and also turn on your bell notifications and follow me on Instagram, Linktree, buy my merch. Hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. XOXO LBtwink.